actually like show up. I used it in the Star Wars game I'm running, where there's like weird dice.
Yeah, they use. Yeah, I've looked at those.
So are everyone kind of playing 4 times the amount of role-playing games they used to be before the virus hit?
Not
Ah,
quite 4 times, but a bit more. Yeah.
Twice as much because I'm playing just another game besides this one.
this
Yeah,
is
playing
amazing.
just as much as I did.
Oh, that's a pity.
Yeah.
The other group, we are playing Tomb of Annihilation, and we currently manage a session a week, which is kind of amazing.
Nice.
And
That's not true. It is 4 times because I used to play this every 2 weeks, and now I'm playing 2 games every weekend,
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday. So
yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah. And isn't the Tomb of Annihilation group like died off again yet?
They pissed me off because they refused to die after failing a trap that kind of critted them when they are incapacitated. They got 20 d10 points of damage and they somehow survived it. It's kind of the worst trap in the adventure, and they failed it, like critically failed it, and they survived it. I told them that after that I'm I'm basically
Yeah, but
quit.
that was 2 weeks ago. You mentioned that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So haven't you killed them since then?
No, they're super. Actually, they got into I don't want to spoil the adventure for you, but they got into a corridor that hit them really hard because there was no saving throw or something. It's like something that just happens as you go into it. So I think they're postponing the next game because of it, trying to figure out what to do. It's kind of interesting. But actually, I've prepared a new campaign setting for them and maybe for you too. Once we'll get off with this one, I'll send you the PDF, which is really interesting. I talked to you about it before. It's kind of Penny Dreadful meets D&D. It's really nice. Okay, so you want to start? Are you okay with it? Okay.
Ready.
Amazing.
Let's do this.
I'm not ready, but let's start.
So
not ready.
So in our last session, you continued to explore the underground complex beneath the shipyard, and you have basically defeated the god of the Mad Quatoa. They basically invent their gods, and sometimes their gods come to be because of this madness. So you actually managed to defeat it, gaining Rukvi's new powers. And while fighting that creature and the Quatoa that worshipped it, I think it was Anderist who effectively bumped into Sleges. Sleges is an illithid, and he came to you asking for some sort of an agreement of mutual benefit. He wanted you to break into the Lord's chambers, retrieve some artifact out of that room, help him repair and pilot his ship, his submarine or nautiloid, so it is called. And in return, he will help you get back to Harshnag, so you can set the time. What it's called? Not the time frame. Time. Come on, help me, guys.
Line.
The timeline. Right. So you'll meet with Harshnag. Harshnag has a lot of answers, and he will help you to set the timeline straight. And you basically said, okay, and then asked for a room to rest in. He showed you a room that is basically an underground garden, and you have found the tree and the dryad that Oakenstand is missing. Oakenstand is a treant, and you have met a druid. I think it was Peleus who actually got that quest point, asking you to help him free the Dryad from the Lord's captivity. If you can do that, this will be amazing. I'm not sure we discussed why the Lord is. I think we did, right? Or didn't? Okay. So I'm not sure if you know or you don't know why the Dryad is captive by this guy, but she's obviously hurt. He obviously mistreated her, and you were discussing with Slegas should you set her free or not, because it seems like the Red Lord, this is how the Quatoa called him, has the ability to simply pop up and have his way with her. And the Slegas believed that you should simply keep her here to make sure that the Red Lord is busy while you are off breaking into dark rooms, retrieving artifacts, and powering the submarine. And at this point we stopped. Slegas said that he needs an answer because you started talking too much. And at this point I left and you continued the discussions without me. So I'm eager.
We arrived at a conclusion. Now, did anybody write it down?
Well, we only spent 10 hours or so discussing it. I'm sure we came up with a brilliant plan.
I have 2 bullet points here written. The plan. Tab, and then rest in submarine or in Dryad place. And then the other one is go to office where Slegas will take care of guards.
Sounds like an amazing plan.
Yes, I think you're missing a small minor detail. That
Yes.
You need to send your servant to the Red Lord to tell him that the Mind Flayer is about to break in this office.
Basically, like, we rest, and then when we go there, I'll tell my what's his name? Perd Thurstonson, my Masawagan friend, to go and tell the Red Lord that he's being betrayed. And then while we're going there, or maybe after he takes out the guards, we'll be attacked. It'll be chaos. And hopefully the Illithid and the Red Lord will fight each other.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Pretty much.
Okay. So what do you say to Slegas? He is hovering before you, waiting your answer.
That we need to go to his submarine and we'll rest there. We need to rest 8 hours before we break the video.
Do you take the Dryad with you?
We're leaving the Dryad here. I say it loudly. I'm not sure the rest of the party will agree, but I'm saying that out loud. She can handle another 8 hours of torture. It's fine.
Remind me why we didn't want to take her with us? I don't remember.
She will die away from the tree, and also if the Red Lord saw that she was gone, he would know something was up.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, she's basically made it so that we either stay here with her or we leave her. We have no choice. So
Okay.
Let's see what history says about us. But can anybody heal her a little bit, maybe?
I think we did.
I think Peleus already did, or someone else last time.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so just to keep it interesting, let's say that Peleus stays here with her, disguised as a tree or something like that. So he can take care of her if the Red Lord appear. Okay, so Slegas opens the door and leads you out of the tunnels. He is hovering with his feet above the water level, so he doesn't touch it. And he looks to the left and to the right, and you all get the feeling that he is using his powers to make sure that there aren't any other creatures, because he is taking you through this maze of tunnels, and every now and then he stops, waiting like this with his arms and hands in this position, and then he moves his arm and then continue to float. So you basically know when he feels that there are, people around. And you do see several Quatoa swimming and a troll passing by. Eventually,
troll? Yeah. Okay.
Eventually, he gets into this T intersection and he points and says, "The submarine is in this way. The Red Lord's room that way."
Lead the way to the submarine.
He looks at you when you say that with his, it's white eyes, but they gleam a little bit, and his tentacle kind of writh move this way, and then he turns and floats towards the submarine bay. After sloshing around in the waters, you do hear the voices of people. It is common, it is human. You can hear roughly 3 or 4 voices discuss mechanical stuff like, the wrench, I need it here, or pass me that plate, or Jordy, the tricorder, I need it here, and all kinds of, mumbo jumbo, technical mumbo jumbo of people who seem to be working on some arcane device.
Is it near the submarine or near something else?
So Sleges just stopped a couple of meters before an opening. That place is brightly lit. There is the water simply continue, and you can hear the voices from there. You haven't entered. You didn't take a deeper look, but he basically points and says, "This is where they keep it, the Riventide."
So this was a piece of equipment that is missing from this submarine.
No, you think that this is the submarine. This is the bay where they keep it.
Okay.
Well, our agreement was that you would get us into your submarine so we can rest. So, what are you afraid of?
He says, "Nothing. Just preparing you for what's to come. Follow me."
Okay.
All right.
He floats into the room, and as you walk behind him, you can see what appears to be a pool inside a pool. So the water, the gooey water, simply pour into the room, but in the middle of it there is another like a stone construction that looks like the border of a pool, and it's large enough to contain such a vessel. I think you've already seen one, at least flying. So it's like 2 cars or 3 cars parked right one after the other, and there is a ladder that climbs into the water, and there are tubes running from the room into that pool, and each tube is basically connected to a big machine. Some of those machines are clockwork. Some of them are more a biological construct, so it definitely looks like a machine, but it has a heart beating, or another machine has lungs that kind of pump, and everything is connected into that pool. The people who are moving around in this room are all humans, elderly looking. They have gray hair, and their skin complexion, it looks like people who have been maybe sages, maybe scholars or something like that, like university folk, and they have white jackets, and they wear high boots that reach almost above knee level, so they can move around without getting really dirty. And they stand with all kinds of devices in their hands, and they look at Sleges, who is floating, and they simply nod, like they recognize him. When they see you, they look at you and they look at him. He doesn't say anything, and he hovers above the pool and motions to one of the humans, and you can all hear him say, "I need it up." And this man says, "Of course."
You did it
Walks.
what?
I did it up.
Oh, okay.
So the man goes to the lung machine and presses a couple of buttons and pushes a couple of levers. The lungs begins to work, and then you can hear water kind of pour from that pool, and the upper part of the nautiloid breaks water and floats there. Slegas motions, and the hatch opens, and he motions to you.
Okay.
As Lega's motions, is looking at the submarine do that. I give a nod to Perd to be like, all right, you get the hell out of here now. Just be ready in like 8 hours probably. Whenever we're leaving here, to report in on what we agreed on.
I'd like to do an insight check on the senior citizens in the lab coats.
Okay.
Only got a 12, but what do I get from that? I'm just curious about their demeanor.
It's a good question. They look as if they don't really care what's going on as long as they are allowed to tend the machines. It's a spark of curiosity in their eyes when you came in, but it vanished as soon as Slegas kind of gave them some orders. But you don't think they are controlled by him.
Right. And do they look, well fed, well taken care of, or?
In a sense, you don't think that they have been here for years or something like that. They're probably here for under a month. Their complexion is a little bit pale. Maybe they haven't seen the sun for a while, but other than that, yes, they seem to be well fed and taken care of.
Okay. Are we going in?
Yeah. Can I ask Slegas a question like telepathically?
Sure.
Why are they? Why don't they mind you? I thought that the red demon doesn't want red, whatever his name is, doesn't want you here.
He says he brought them here to reverse engineer my technology. They are under his influence, but he doesn't mind my presence as long as I am useful.
Huh. But if they are under his influence, wouldn't he know that we just entered the submarine?
Overconfidence.
Sorry?
He doesn't think you or me are a threat.
Well, that's kind of shits on our plan a little bit, no?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Only the part where we thought we could slip away without anybody knowing we were there once the Mind Flayer was dead. But I think we can assume he knows, the Red Lord knows we exist now. It just actually backs up our plan about informing him that he's being betrayed.
Okay.
You guys maybe want me to try to suggest to these folks to bring the part back into the submarine and fix it right now?
No, because we need to break into the office to get the part.
Why would we do it? Why not have them do it?
No, we're not going to do it. We're going to pretend we're going to break in and get the part, and in order to do that, the Mind Flayer is going to distract the guards, and that's hopefully when the Red Lord comes to kill the Mind Flayer. And then after they have killed each other, we kill the Red Lord. That was the plan.
But after that, we're still stuck with all the guards inside this cavern.
We can go right outside, go upstairs.
Don't we want the submarine?
Nah.
Really?
We don't need it.
We don't want the sub?
Well,
We're going
maybe
inland.
we'll take it, but...
Does it fly?
It floats.
We can get into Waterdeep pretty easily.
witch.
He's got the eyes for it already.
Yeah,
You-
but we're not going back to Waterdeep. We're going inland, farther to the mountains, right?
Right.
Eventually.
Yeah, well, he said he can take us over to wherever Harshnag is, so I'm guessing there's like it's a wide enough river over there that we can.
Well, I don't
Dive.
know that he explicitly said that he was going to take us anywhere. Just that he would connect us to him, right? That doesn't mean he's going,
He said he had
or
a
that
lead.
we're
or
going with
something.
him.
And we were going to, maybe, who knows, who cares, rescue the Dryad after we have taken care of the Mind Flayer and the Red
Yes.
Lord, and then go take her to the Oaken Stand, and then the Treant can help us find out where Harshnag is.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about
Or die trying.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
No, die trying. We're going to do. Do or do not, there is no try. Come on.
Exactly. The wise farmer has spoken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely original phrase that he made up on the spot.
Farm wisdom.
Okay. So, do you guys want to go to get some rest?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys need it. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Stop
that
showing off.
that net emotionally damaged you though.
True. Getting trapped under a giant scorpion, trapped in several nets underwater for like 2 minutes. That
Once
was
you get
that
your
was
soul
a bit
back, you'll need
scarring.
therapy.
I do have like 2 points of damage on me right now.
I have 3 hit points.
I have 11. We're resting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you climb into the Nautiloid, and you immediately realize that this isn't exactly the clean, tacky ship that you have traveled in before. So, if at all, this seems to be either a prototype on its own or some sort of an early version of that cool ship that you have seen before. It is biological inside. So it is made of, the outer shell is metal, but inside it's all spongy and fleshy and tentacled. And you can see that Snegas operates like the lights by pulling on a tentacle, and then some fluorescent mushrooms kind of grow out of the flesh of the submarine and light up. And he motions inside, and then he takes you, Quarian, kind of by simply crowding you. He's approaching you and, pushing you with his presence toward the driver's seat. And then you can see 2 tentacles rise, and on their edges are tiny metallic sockets, needles covering them, like the ones you had on the previous ship. And they kind of float, seeking your eyes.
All right.
You don't need to do that right now, do you?
I don't think so. I look at the Sluggus and I say, okay, I understand. But not right now. That won't be necessary now.
Yeah, 'cause that's fucking disgusting.
He floats back, and some of the tentacles and the flesh kind of wraps him like a cocoon. And he looks at you with his glowing eyes and says, "Rest."
Awesome. Yeah.
What did he say?
Rest.
Here?
Rest? Okay.
Yeah.
Is he
Okay.
watching
and-
us now? Is he just like sort of cocooned?
You're not sure, but 6 other cocoons kind of opens in the walls
Dude.
of the submarine.
Nope.
Look,
Nope. I'll just sit down cross-legged on the floor.
we've been in this situation
I'll
before in
allow
these
you to
adventures.
and enter a meditative trance and rest for 8 hours that way.
Okay.
I'll risk it. I'll go into the cocoon.
Okay.
Me
Oh,
too.
Creepy motherfuckers.
Yep.
I've done some creepy stuff in these submarines before.
This is like an orthopedic capsule. Great for my back.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Memory foam. I mean, it's memory goop, but this is going to be the best sleep I've had in months.
Totally.
Yeah, that memory foam is made with actual memories.
Yeah. Hopefully good ones.
Children's memories.
Okay, so yeah.
while we rest, I want to try and telepathically communicate with the ship and see if it's sentient.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, you can actually do that. So as you sit down and try to do that, the cocoon next to you suddenly pops out a tentacle that seems to search for someone in the cocoon, but as it doesn't find one, it retracts back into the shell.
Get in the cocoon.
Go and plug in a tentacle. Like, it's not the worst thing you plugged into your brain. This
Yeah,
campaign.
right?
I'm okay plugging machines into my head, but I'm not going to put that little cocoon penis up to my head. No way.
What, insane wizards are okay?
Rookvi,
Yes.
as you
Yes.
as you sit down and making yourself comfortable, you move around and then you bump into a boot.
Rugby that went into the cocoon, or someone else?
No, Rookvi didn't went into one of the cocoons. At least this is what I'm. Oh, you
Oh,
did?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't.
okay, so
And
Galen,
Bruce didn't.
that's fine. Galen, so since you are one of the ones who stayed outside, you make yourself comfortable on the floor and you bump into a boot, and you look, and the boot is connected to a leg, and the leg is connected to a body, a dead one.
Okay. I continue resting.
It's a Triton.
Then
And
I continue resting. There's a body.
Do I see the body?
yeah, if you stay outside, and eventually while kind of
Yes.
sitting, and you can also see Galen kind of move uncomfortably, looking around, and then switching a little bit to a place that is not occupied by a dead body of a Triton. So a quick look reveals that this is a very dead Triton. He has official uniform, and by the looks of it, it looks like he is a high-ranking one. If you want, you can try to roll something to try to figure out what the rank is.
Oh, history check. 16.
Okay, so you have seen some similar ranks on Elven uniform. You believe this is a general.
Wow. Medicine check to see if I can figure out how he died. That's only a 10.
Okay. You believe he died out of what it's called when divers kind of depressurize the wrong way, and
Embolism.
yep, he basically exploded from the inside.
All right, and investigation check of 17. See if I can find anything interesting on him.
Yes, you do. You find one of those rings on him.
The black tentacle ring.
Yes.
So, all right. I'm going to. Does he have any? I don't know. Modern uniforms obviously have like a name tag or something on it. Something that identifies him as just. Does he have that on him?
Yeah, you kind of search the body a little bit more, and you flap, one of these around, and you can find it on a. It's written on a shell, like a seashell, that has been curved to the name of General Kamal.
Kamal. Okay, I'm gonna take that.
I remember this name.
Yeah, you do.
We met a group of Tritons way back. I don't actually remember if it was this character or.
So you kind of remember from your previous friend Zunis. So Zunis had this was his commander in the Navy, in the Triton Navy, and this commander went rogue. This is what Zunis told you, that his commander went rogue and lost his mind while working on some secret project for the Triton government.
I remember Zunis told us that Well, I remember that. Okay, what I have written over here is that Zunis woke up after exploding and getting back to himself, and he remembers that it happened to him before when he met General Kamal.
Correct.
Huh.
So while we're resting, I'm also going to. Can I cast rituals with still being rested?
I don't think so. You need to sleep and like 10 minutes a ritual or something like that. Sure, but if you want to
Yeah.
sleep, you need something like 6 hours or something like that.
Okay. Well, if I only need 6 hours, then I also like to cast detect magic before I
that's
go
fine.
down.
Sure. That's
See if anything piques my interest,
let me see.
and then identify on the submarine.
Okay. So it looks like that General Kamal doesn't have any magical items on it. The ship itself is obviously a mishmash of biological and mechanical technology.
In the
but-
ship, is there anything in particular that radiates really strong magic, like a specific piece or something?
Yes. So, do you remember the two tentacles that I've described to Aquarian? So it seems like they attach to something that radiates a strong aura, but it isn't arcane. It is psionic, like
Okay.
psionic. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So, and this is another thing that Quarian can tell you, that it seems like the submarine controls aren't meant for illithids. They are meant for tritons.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, does the general have the marks around his eyes and the different pupils, like he was controlling the submarine?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Resting.
Okay. So eight hours of rest go by, and the one who spent the night in the cocoons, you fall asleep and you wake up, and as you do, you feel like things kind of crawling out of your skin, and you look and you can see tentacled tubes kind of withdraw from your bodies. You gain 10 temporary hit points on top of your full HP, because you were injected with all kinds of cool liquids from the pods.
Go science.
And the pods kind of open, simultaneously. So Slegas spawn also kind of, and he floats outside.
Gotta give me one of those.
And the
Right?
face you made, James, was priceless. When you described that.
You guys still don't want the submarine, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want the submarine.
I will live on the submarine.
Right?
No, I feel like what pact do you have or whatever, James? Aren't you a forest, like natural things?
Of the
Things that
ancients.
This
grow.
is natural.
This is life. This is organic.
Yeah, it's organic.
It is life, but
Corn-fed
it's not
submarine
natural.
right here.
I don't know. I think you might have
Free-range.
pissed your god off here. Shouldn't you
Look,
be trying to destroy
I
this?
recommend it. It's pretty fun.
Well, Galen is like really well rested when he rises and feels like really calm and tranquil and like really chill about everything, like creepily chill. Like he isn't bothered by any slimy tentacles or creatures, or that we're about to go up against the demon. It's like he doesn't really care.
Except for the constantly getting bumped into by Andrus, who was pacing the whole time till he fell asleep.
Well, Galen is
On your
really
feet.
calm.
If he can.
I'll be back in a second, guys.
All right.
Well, let's tell Slegas that I guess it's time. What can he tell us about the Red Lord? In case we do encounter him, or he tries to confront us.
For when we encounter him?
He says his room is kept in utter darkness. His guardians float there, unimpeded by it. He hides an artifact taken from my submarine. You need to retrieve it.
Did he seriously just add a whole other layer of complication on? Like a room full of magical darkness with guardians in it? This was supposed to be a slip in, slip out little stealth light fingers action.
And are those creatures in there the guardians you were talking about, Distraction? Or are they like a human guardian?
I can provide a distraction that will help you complete
And we're supposed to... Are we just to fumble around in the darkness till we find this thing, or what? You need to give us a little bit more.
All I know that he hides, and he points to one of the a cavity in the flesh of the ship. It's like a place where there is a missing tooth at the size of a small TV screen. So it seems like some sort of a control panel or something like that that was pulled out of the living flesh. And he says, the General used that device to make this ship fly.
Wait, fly as in underwater, or fly as in through the air?
He looks at you kind of, what wasn't clear, and then he says, without it the ship can only sail underwater, but if we want to escape we have to get the ability to transcend above the clouds.
Okay, I'm gonna telepathically communicate with just about everybody here. Be like, okay, yeah, we need the ship now.
Yeah. Telepathically, thumbs up. Yeah.
Telepathic, yeah. +1.
I just give a real thumbs up.
Doesn't change anything though. We just need to actually get the device now.
You sure?
Oh, and Avi, you missed it, but he forgot to tell us that the room where the device is kept is in
I heard it.
the
I heard
darkness. Oh, well
I
then.
heard it. But are you sure that this doesn't change anything? Because getting the ship with the demon battling the battling Sluggus might not be so easy now.
I don't know. It seems like a great time for us to slip away.
Right?
But wasn't the plan to kill the demon?
Fuck. Oh right,
Yeah.
you're so. Oh, yeah. Is that your soul? Yeah, that's what you get yourself.
And can we change the
Do we
plan?
care about that?
Since the Kuatora is probably right now telling the demon, like, hey, the mind flayer's on his way to sneak into your office right now.
No, we were gonna tell him after we rested to go do that.
We just
Yeah,
finished resting.
we
We just
rested.
finished resting. The cool
Yeah, but we
took
haven't
out his
told
little
him yet.
pocket watch, looked at it, and just like flopped away towards the.
Well, that was exactly it. We didn't have any good timing, so we were gonna wait until after we rested for you to actually command him to go and do that. I haven't heard you say that yet, so.
I did. I told him before we went into the submarine.
There is
stay out of the submarine.
there is a knock on the hatch. Dong dong dong.
Doesn't change anything. We still gotta go. You're gonna go? I think Sluggus should go.
So Sluggus just looks at you like this, and
Okay,
then and then he waves and the hatch open. All you can see is a shadow because you kind of take a step back, and you can hear a voice. The voice says, "Well, what's up? Have you figured it out yet? Why can't it fly?" And Sluggus kind of looks at you like this and says, not mentally, but in his actual voice, "Still work in progress." Well, when you figure it out, let me know. I'm gonna have some good time with my new friend, the Dryad. And Slagus,
I'm gonna point up and mouth Red Lord.
Slagus kind of nods.
Really? Sounds like a great guy. You should go meet him.
And Stegas says, "Of course, enjoy your time." And this guy says, "I got some raspberry pies. She told me she likes them."
Have I heard this voice before?
Five.
Or was I not in this campaign or in the campaign yet? This character.
Yeah, have we heard this voice before?
You do not. I don't know. Roll something.
History?
Yeah, go for it.
Just look.
17?
You don't think so.
Okay.
Shit.
All right. Slagus just waits for him to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hatch is still open.
Okay.
What does he mean by raspberry pie? I'm gonna ask Slegus.
Like literally?
It is. As far as I know, it is something humans eat, finding great pleasure in doing so. It is beyond me to understand.
And why is he bringing it to her? This is the weirdest torture I've ever heard of.
Yeah, right? That sounds like wooing, not torturing.
Rookby's looking at his imaginary watch as you guys are.
I could go for some pie.
Right?
Yeah, let's go for some pie.
Okay, so I'm gonna pop my head out if nobody stops me. I'm gonna wait a few seconds to like listen, see if I can hear him walking away, and then I can pop my head out.
Okay.
Perception is crap. 7.
So you only get a glimpse of his boots as he walks out. The only interesting thing is that the water kind of parts when he moves. So they don't touch him, they part. And as he passes, they close behind him. Seems human, wearing red boots, and the black pants kind of go inside them. He has a white shirt, a cloak, and he does hold a tray of something. And behind, all you can see is dark grayish hair.
How's the pie look?
It smells good, and you can actually kind of smell the trail.
See the way- Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
You float up.
In,
Yeah.
Awesome.
in this rotten sewer place. Great.
Yeah. The best smell down here.
Is there a ladder leading up to the hatch, I guess, or the
Yes.
biological flap? Well,
Yeah,
I
so
also climb it up and just
tentacles-
push Anders out with my head.
Tentacles kind of form, and they touch each other, so you can climb out.
I'll let myself get pushed aside by Rookfi.
And maybe go out so we can go get the part we need.
By the
Well,
way,
who
just
gets some
I'll
pie?
go Slackers.
Do you think there's more pie?
I think not. I
Like
think there's
you-
probably one pie, but there's enough pieces probably for all of us.
Right?
Stegas looks at all of you and says, "Humans, distracted easily." And then he
It's
floats
breakfast. Come on.
out. He floats out.
Can he if the two of us are in there?
What?
Can he if the two of us are in the
No.
tube?
No. He has to wait for you.
I'm getting
I'll be right back.
being burst out by this thing. Probably.
just to make sure that I understood though before, the ship right now can sail underwater, right?
Yes,
You just need that part that is missing in order to fly.
correct.
Okay.
The ignition key.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
let's
he
go
said
get
this
that
was
one.
his ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then why doesn't it look like he can fly it?
Because it wasn't designed for Illithus to use for some reason.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. Of like,
So
is
you
it
can
legal salvage? Is it, did he kill the Tritons to get the ship? Like,
You know, some people have
Do you ask him?
indentured servants. Slave
yeah,
labors.
I'm totally gonna ask him why it doesn't look like it can be run by Illithids.
He answers, "This is only but a prototype. We have partnered with the Council of the Tritons to produce it. Their ability to survive the deep makes them excellent experimentation specimen."
I'll accept that. Still not stoked on it, but I'll accept that. And I'll start following you guys out of the ship. We're heading to his office to find the keys.
So
Red
you,
Lord's office, yeah.
yeah, you believe that at least for now, this guy is busy with the Dryad, so you probably have some
Yeah.
time to fiddle in his room. So Andres, oh, probably doesn't hear me because he doesn't have these.
I'm here.
Okay, good. So Forgar asked Sleges, like, why this ship was designed for Tritons, and he basically said that this is part of some secret project with the Triton government, and Tritons are very good at surviving the deep. So let the prototype be tested on them.
Okay.
And if you want, you can all now leave the submarine. You probably have some time when the Lord is busy with the Dryad. So if you want to do something, that's a good time to do it.
Are the doctors back? The engineers?
Yes, but it's a different shift. So 3 people, but different people. Again, they look up, they see you go out, but they don't, they simply maintain the equipment. You believe that they are taking notes, disassembling parts, taking notes, assembling them back. And you believe that Sleges is looking at them with contempt, as far as you can read illithid faces.
Do I
I
see
bet-
where is writing the notes, by the way?
Yes,
What
they
is
have
the
like
writing the notes?
boards. They have like,
Okay, just boards.
yeah.
All right.
With
gonna
clips on the
alter my-
top.
Yeah.
I'm going to alter my appearance so I look more human,
Okay.
more approachable. Brown hair, somewhat tan skin, regular old blue eyes. Change the color of my outfit a little bit and approach one of them,
Yep.
any one of the engineers. And telepathically, I'm going to communicate with him and ask him why he works for the Red Lord.
Excuse me, a Red Lord?
The gentleman with the red boots and the pie.
Oh, Thornhill. What do you mean? We've been hired to investigate this marvelous piece of equipment.
He pays well, treats you well.
Yes, of course.
What about and telepathically again? What about and I'm going to kind of like with my head nod toward the Illithid.
He looks at him and says, "Oh, Professor Sleges, of course, is the key. He's a fountain of information about this technology. Apparently, he knows a great deal about it. It's we've been trying to get him to lecture at the Watadavian Institute of High Education, but he simply wouldn't do it. He is more of a hands-on research type. kind of a guy.
Is this a secret assignment for you, or do your friends and family know what you're doing?
I think I've
Or is it your
seen.
colleagues?
No, I've seen my family. You see that he gets a little bit kind of confused when you mention family, etc. And yeah, there was a letter, or I think a dinner. Yeah, sure. Don't worry. They know all about it.
Sorry, I'm
I'm
still
sure.
worried. I've heard stories that there was some evil doings and demon work afoot in this area, and so we've come to investigate.
He looks around at this laboratory. Evil demons. It's. What are you talking about? It's sterile. It's everything is well documented. Look at the work we're doing here. This is top
good.
research for the Waterdavian Higher School of Education.
I'm glad everything seems on the up and up. What about the Koatua tribe above you that worshipping some false idol?
Yeah, you're talking about the biology department. I don't think they have offices here. That's quite across town. At the southern district, they have a building there. Maybe they grow Koatua there, but I don't think.
Right. Wait. Where do you think you are?
What do you mean? Where do you think you are? This is Waterdeep, the Grand School of Higher Education. This is the building. The building named after Ratley Ober, the physicist. This is. Can I see your tag? How did you get here?
I don't have a tag because you're not in Waterdeep, nor are you in the school. I hate to break it to you, but I think you've been kidnapped.
Oh,
you're in the high forest.
I know this. Learstrom from the psychology department, told you to do that. Like, yeah, he's pulling pranks on us every time. Yeah. I remember when he put, sea snakes in our pocket, saying this was an illithid attack or something. Oh, yeah, great laughs. But yeah, now go tell him that this is ridiculous. Come on. We have work to do.
And so he's responding to me out loud. So I'm just going to turn to Slegus and say, how did the Red Lord get them here without them knowing? I'll say that out loud for everybody to hear.
He says, the fullest forms of mind control. Not the elegant solutions we are known for. A more crude approach, but an effective one, it seems.
From what we know, is mind control something that can be like dispelled?
That's what I was just thinking.
I think so. Let me check.
Prepared, y'all.
Oops.
Oh man, can you imagine the chaos that this guy's gonna be in if we take this spell away from him?
Yeah, it might be better to keep him under it. Right?
Yeah, for now.
Yes, maybe we should go get the part and not cause trouble.
After we get the
great
part,
distraction
totally.
if all the doctors start to rebel.
We don't need another distraction.
Not yet.
I mean,
I'm usually
heaven
the one that
forbid
causes
they all
trouble.
get killed, but there'd be a lot of minds lost.
Roll your Arcana check, because this is an arcane effect.
Okay, I got a 12 plus Arcana. I got a 13.
Okay. You believe this is this isn't a spell per se. This is something that the creature, demon, devil, whatever, can actually do. And you believe that this is a permanent effect, transcending distance but not planes of existence. So you believe that the only way to set these guys free is to get this creature to leave this plane of existence. This will sever the link. But any amount of distance is...
I have an idea. Hold hold on. Could cast it. Shit. Never mind.
What was the idea?
Cast blink on him, because when you blink out, it takes you to another plane of existence temporarily.
Okay. And what was the shit about?
I can't cast it on someone else. I can only cast it on myself.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Don't have any other spells that work.
Banishment.
Banish him.
Banishment, it shifts them to another plane of existence for a minute, and then they return.
Yeah, I don't have a banish spell. I don't think anyone else does either, else we would have used it.
But we don't need to worry about this now.
I
And
cast it at a higher level.
come on, when we have the path, then we can deal with these fools.
If they get in our way. If not, then we can just.
Well, I don't think we should leave them here.
Well, I think if we
One
are successful,
couple at a
that they'll.
time.
If we're successful, that the spell will be broken, or the effect will be broken.
Yeah, if we kill him, the effect will be broken.
I think so. If it's a power of his.
Alright.
But, I mean, having them on our side would be helpful, don't you think?
Definitely.
Especially if there's like 2 or 3
So
shifts.
as you kind of talk, he turns to his friend and says, "Well, is it possible that the convergence of 3 tachyon pulses can have ruptured the subspace? We might need to submerge the submarine and then create an anti-time reaction."
Sorry. Created a what?
Yeah, and his friend answers, no, there's a negative effect on power reduction. Speed is still increasing. You have to control it by emergency bypassing the control of the matter-antimatter iterator. Unless it has fused already. No, it hasn't fused. They just came out of this submarine.
So listen, guys, we can, if we want to try, we can try to catch them like at a shift change, where there will be like 6 of them pretty much at the same area. And I can try casting mass suggestion on all 6 of them.
Well, I was thinking the same thing about suggestion, if we could word it in a way to get them to disbelieve, but...
Yeah, well, we can just tell them to...
Slegus tentacles kind of starts to wiggle a little faster, and he says, "We are wasting precious time."
He's probably right. Maybe we should just
Yeah,
he's
move
totally
on.
right.
And,
I didn't want to
I
say
hate to
anything,
agree
but
with the mind flare, but it's probably
Yeah.
right.
I don't want to be the responsible one here, guys.
All right, well, I'll thank him for his time and commend him on the good work he's doing, and suggest to him that perhaps if he really wants to get that, what did he call it? Something time? What did you call that, sir? Anti-time? What?
Antimatter refraction time dilation device.
Right, the antimatter time refraction dilation device would possibly work if you were in either the ethereal or astral planes, even if just briefly. So you might want to try that if you guys have the abilities. I don't know if any of you are wizards, but if you can get there just even for the briefest of seconds, it'll probably work. Anyways, have a great day.
We could disrupt the technofield with an inverse graviton burst, but maybe it would create a rip, and we'll have to drop into, and then they start to kind of talk with, with one another.
Forcefully ignore them because they're hurting my head.
by the way, though, if we get the demon to be, if we force it out of this plane of existence, would it have the same effect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
Let's
so
focus on the parts.
Slegus floats, takes you to the right, to the left, to the same T intersection, and then he points to the door leading to the Lord's offices, and then he stops, looking at you, and says, "We keeps the door locked."
Do you need us to open it? Is it a mundane lock or is it a magical lock?
You kind of look, and it seems like a mundane lock.
Anybody got this?
So, I don't know. Somebody just told me I was eating pizza, so I got excited. I don't know what you guys.
The door's locked. Like it seems like it's just physically locked, and we don't have a thief. So
I
Unless
I can
unless
break
a
it.
hammer, yeah. Unless brute force can open it.
I'm with the
door.
yeah.
Wait, yeah, is it possible that Galen can do it?
I can
Galen,
dispel.
Punch down the door. Yes, but that's
no, wait.
like you
Nah,
said.
I missed. I'm thinking one character back. I'm sorry.
It's a bit. Just a few sessions ago, I was a rogue. Yes, like just a session or two ago.
yeah, Quarian, you don't
I
have
know it's. I
ability?
know it was recently. Yes.
Quarian, it doesn't really know how to pick locks. You can
I
try.
am not very sleight of handy.
My
Alright,
sleight of
well,
hand is pretty good. It's pretty good actually, but I don't know if that's how you pick locks.
How far away are we from?
Yes.
How far away are we from the Dryad's room? If we break this door down, will it cause enough noise that he'll hear us?
You don't think so?
And I asked Slag, it's like, if we break down the door, can we then retreat while you distract the guards quickly?
I can
that
stun
work?
them for a while. You'll have to venture in.
Do you
All right, I'm
know
breaking
what
the
these
door
guards
down.
are? Hold on. What are the guards? Have you seen them?
Planetars.
He says, there is an unnatural darkness present inside the room. Not even I can penetrate it.
How about a? Do you think a daylight spell might work,
The
Segwit?
distraction will work?
What?
Are you sure the distraction will actually work on the guardians?
I can sense them. They are flesh and blood and can be killed.
Yes, good. Okay then, get ready, and I'll go over and punch, like, try to see if I can just punch the lock of the door, like, out.
Okay. Yeah, you
What do I
probably.
need to roll for it, like an
you-
attack, or
Yes.
that's 24 to hit,
Okay. Just a minute.
and 13 points of damage, and it does count as medical. If that has that again.
So, wait a minute.
None of us has a silence spell, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I might have been able to prepare for it. Let me see.
I wonder if Wall of Light would dispel the darkness in here.
I have a daylight.
Worth trying.
Yeah, daylight would be a better option.
Just burst out some daylight. I gotta make it. What? How could I make it
Does
creepy?
it say anything about it? Does the daylight spell say anything about that?
Yeah, let me choose.
I do think light spell cancel out a same level spell of darkness.
If any of this spell's area overlaps with an area of darkness created by a spell of 3rd level or lower, the spell that created the darkness is dispelled. 3 or
Right.
lower. So, I mean, if Slegas
What do
can
we
do
think?
I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're in total darkness.
Yeah, I'm just a regular human.
Okay,
Regular human eyes.
so your punch kind of cripples the lock and the door opens a little bit, and then you can see wisps of darkness that pour from the door out, but they dissipate just as they leave the room. So there's obviously magical darkness inside.
I will step back and say, after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good friend,
Like it.
the Mind Flayer.
He simply concentrate and then says,
Nah. And just
no,
walks away.
he just says, find something to bite on. And then he emits this mind blast. It's a wave of psionic energy that hits everything within in the room, in the corridor, around, even the water kind of shake and tremble. All of you need to make intelligence saving throws.
I don't like this guy.
I hate him.
He's not a
Does
good
he-
team player.
Does he not have like just a single target?
Yeah, could he not have warned us? 14.
Bite something.
I
That's
got
the
a six.
warning.
I got
Yeah.
a 16.
14 is a failure. 16 works.
9.
I got
So
21.
9 is a
First-
failure.
For a smart guy, he's pretty stupid.
Rukvi?
Stun
21.
all of us and we can't get what he wants.
Wisdom. Intelligence.
Wait, wisdom?
No.
No, it's intelligence. Sorry.
Yeah, 21.
21.
Oh, it was
Fine.
It was intelligence. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I heard wisdom. Intelligence, 18 for me. If it's-
18 is amazing. So only Andrest, it seems, takes 22 points
I
of
failed.
psychic damage, and you are stunned. You can end the effect
attack?
at the end of your turn. Slegus looks at you and says, "Now," expecting
I'm
you
out.
to.
Do we take any damage if we fail or if we
No.
succeed the save?
If you succeed, I don't see any damage taken.
Okay. Well, I will quickly just look around and look at Rookie and say, like, give him a look of, like, where is your Kuatoa friend? And then I'll head inside.
Okay.
I don't know.
Initiative.
Remind me. It's a stunned effect. How long does it last?
It is
To
1
the end
minute. 1 minute, but the creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on a success.
Awesome.
So
Gotcha.
23 for Galen.
Alright. Corey's got 11.
okay, Andorist.
5.
I rolled better than someone.
I'm stunned. It's not a big thing.
So am I.
Forgar.
I got a 16.
16.
Me too. Rugby
Okay.
got 16.
So Forgar, you also take 22 points of psychic
Yeah.
damage, and Rukvi.
16
Rukvi,
initiative.
16. Amazing.
I wish I could. Lesser Restoration for some reason doesn't remove stun.
No.
Okay. Oh my.
You can be paralyzed, deafened. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So, come on, I hate it. I'm just sorting by hand. I'm all computer here, no. Okay, got it. So, Galen, you go first. You go into the room, and immediately you are hit by this darkness that is around you. It seems like almost tangible, and there is some stinking smell inside of this room. Something is burning your nostrils. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you go into the room.
Okay. One thing I should note is I do have a Sanctuary spell on me right now. So if people wants to target me with something, they need to do a Wisdom save to succeed, and if they fail on the Wisdom save, they can't target me.
Okay, it's
that's
not.
a
Yeah,
20.
it's
Yeah. I assume it was like a room effect. Yeah, it's a 20 on the save.
okay. So you only take. Did you know that Google can roll dice now?
Yes.
You take
cool.
10 points of poison damage.
I
as
ignore that. I'm immune to poison.
amazing. Okay, so but you are aware that something is trying to burn your lungs and skin, etc.
Yeah. I'll
amazing.
just calmly and slowly walk in, and I will say, like, it seems there's some poisonous gas in here, so be dangerous. Maybe try that daylight thing while I look around in the dark, fumbling.
Okay, so you hear things move, and if you want, you can try to attack them with
No,
disadvantage.
I'm not attacking. No, no, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So if this is all you want to do, then you simply stand there in the room. That's fine.
I'm slowly walking around, like
Trying to
trying
feel
to
your way.
feel myself around.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Forgar, what do you want to do?
I'll enter into the. No, I'm stunned. So all I'm gonna do is the end of my turn. Roll the saving throw.
Yes.
14.
A 14 is,
Nope.
I think,
what I rolled.
no, it's not enough. So you stay stunned.
Still like
Yeah.
rubbing
Okay.
my head, like I don't know what's happening.
Right. Rukvi, what do you want to do?
I'm going to cast the daylight spell, 60 feet away from me, because it's a 60-foot radius.
Okay.
And I don't think I have to roll anything. Yep. Within a 60-foot radius sphere, there's a bright light that sheds dim light for an additional 60 feet, so 120 visible.
Okay.
I choose a point on an object you're holding or one that isn't being worn or carried. Yeah. If any of this spell's area overlaps with an area of darkness created by a spell of third level or lower, the spell that creates a darkness is a spell.
Amazing. Okay.
See if it works.
So you cast your spell, and what you see is basically two. It is definitely a room. It looks like a room for a writer. Okay, there are multiple books lying on a mahogany desk. There is a vial with a reddish liquid in it and a quill. And in a cage next to the pile of books, there is a human being, but its eyes are sawed, its mouth is sawed, and it looks like someone was writing on his skin, kind of tattooing him with words, which you can't read right now, but it seems like infernal. In addition to that, there is a long shelf with all kinds of devices. You identify what appears to be that flight gizmo that was torn from the ship, because it has, when you tear a tooth and it has the roots, so the same big. And above Galen, there are two creatures who seem to be in mid-air, about to crash him with long forks. Not forks, but how does it call?
Tridents.
Yeah.
Glaives.
And they have three hands, two from the side and one from their back, and insect-like eyes. Bless you. And they seem to be descending upon him in the middle of this gaseous material that is floating in the room. So this is what you see, and if you want to move, you can. If not, it is their turn.
You could have given me a bit of a warning as I close my eyes, like to the further bright light.
Yeah, right.
Suddenly in the room.
Hopefully they go blind as well. Well then, I cast the spell as I'm running into the darkness, so I'll keep running. And I'll stand next to Galen. This time, instead of using my maul, I'll have my shield and my hammer.
Okay, so in this case, you also need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty. 20 plus 9. Awesome. 24.
24 is amazing. So you only take you only take 14 points of poison damage, as it kind of burns your skin, your eyes, your hair.
I as he come in, like, why didn't you stay outside? I told you about the poison thing. As I'm blinking, trying to see what's going on around me.
So on their turn, one of them is going to shout a word in Infernal and cover the room in darkness again. So it explodes again, and you are in the dark. The other one, yeah, go ahead.
The daylight spell is still ongoing.
Oh, is it? It's not like I thought it's like a one-time effect and it's gone.
It's like a really high-level light spell.
Okay, so
It's concentration.
okay, so
Yeah, it
it
does
won't,
have concentration.
so it won't do that. Okay, so it will simply descend upon one will descend upon Rukvi, and one of them will descend upon
They
Galen.
need to do their wisdom save if they want to attack me.
Okay, that's fine.
DC 14.
Yeah, wisdom.
And if they fail, they can choose to attack something else.
Okay, so the one that is attacking you passed his wisdom save, and now he will basically make 2 attacks. So one with his, he has one hand free, so a claw, and then with his trident. So his claw hits armor class 20.
Yes, that's a hit.
That's a hit. So he is doing 6 plus 4. That's 10 points of slashing damage. The trident hits armor class. That's 14.
Oh, hey, he missed.
I missed.
Something missed me.
Oh,
That's
amazing.
like the first time in like what 10 session.
So he lands next to you, and he's saying something in Infernal. You're not sure what exactly, but it's probably a curse.
I haven't picked up Infernal for my like trip to hell sort of thing. Well, part of me have went to hell.
Maybe. Rukvi, the one of them is trying to claw you. He hits armor class 22 with the claw.
Hits.
So that's 9 points of slashing damage, and the trident hits armor class 14 again.
Miss.
Good. Okay, so these were their attacks. Quarian, what do you want to do?
I have to do concentration checks.
Oh, right. Yeah.
20 plus.
You need to do 2 of them.
It's
For what?
For I'm holding concentration.
The poison save and the attack.
Yeah.
But what are you concentrating on?
Daylight.
Daylight.
It's not a concentration spell.
It's not awesome.
No, I just looked it up.
That's cool. Daylight.
Yeah,
It just
duration
lasts
1 hour.
for an hour.
That's great. Never mind.
Okay. So Quarian, seeing 2 of his friends stunned, is going to try to counter charm. So he's doing a performance. It's trying to disrupt mind influencing effects. As an action, he starts a performance that lasts until the end of my next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of me have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. Would that be charmed, by the way, or not?
No,
actually,
no.
no, that doesn't help him at all. Okay, and never mind then. Sorry, guys, can't help you. So what I am going to do is I'm going to cast Dimension Door to get over to the shelf right away and grab the item that I want. And if I see any other item that seems interesting, I'll grab that too.
Okay. The door opens. You find yourself next to this techno-biological tooth. You pull it. You grab some other trinket, and then you move through the door and find yourself next to Andrist again.
Oh no, I stay. I have to stay there. I can't
okay.
cast Dimension Door twice.
Okay,
And
so in
just
this
the
case, make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So 13 plus. That's a 15.
A 15 is. Wait a minute. I think it's okay, but I'm not sure. DC. Yes, that's fine. So you take half of 24, which is 12 points of poison damage.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. And the rest. You are stunned, but at the end of your turn, you can try.
Well, so I have a question for you. And one that even after all this time, I still don't quite know. My awakened mind, is it two-way telepathic communication, or does the other person have to speak?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't. Ability to touch the minds of other creatures. You can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet. You don't need to share a language for it to understand your telepathic utterances, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
Yeah, but your stunned effect allows you to only speak falteringly. Yeah.
But I can still speak.
Yeah.
So does it? But can they respond
Who is
telepathically?
they? These creatures? You believe so? Yes.
No, whoever I speak to. So they can. Can they respond to me telepathically? Is my question.
What's this ability again?
Awakened mind. It doesn't say. It just says I can telepathically speak to any creature. So I don't think they can speak back to me.
Yeah, it sounds
Telepathic.
like it. Sounds like it.
Okay. All right, then no, I'm so no, I will. I'm gonna the person who's in the cage with their mouth sewn shut and their eyes sewn shut.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna telepathically, and I know I can only do this, and I'm just gonna be like, here to help, and that's it, and then I'll make my save.
Good.
Intelligence, right? Oh yes, 21.
Amazing. You are no longer stunned.
Okay.
Good. Good.
Do they react at all to my telepathic utterance?
Yes, this creature man turns around toward like your direction, but simply the horrifying visage of his appearance, mutilated in this way, your heart goes on to him. Like he's in a terrible, terrible condition. Those are indeed infernal letters carved on his body. Maybe reading them will help you understand what's going on with him.
I can't. Is Quarian close to him now that you stepped up?
Yes, because he teleported right next to the shelf.
Okay, then I'm just. I guess with the rest. I guess it's the end of my turn. I can't speak. Go ahead.
No, you can speak. Speak is free.
I'll just say
free.
Quarian the cage.
Okay.
For Galen, yeah. Well, what do you do? First. Okay, so poison doesn't affect you. Amazing. So go ahead. What do you want to do? I can't hear you. You're muted. Muted.
Sorry. I'll wave wildly and like I was not muted. I was just waving wildly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I was. Joking. I will say, "What are you doing in here, you fools?" While I'm waving my hands, as I did before. Like, just get out of here. Take the part and get out. I'll distract these things, and I'll just use my action to dodge.
Okay. Good.
And stay in here. And
okay, makes sense.
like,
yeah, that's
make myself a good target or something.
Okay, Forgar.
Insult their mothers if I can.
Yes, you can. So as Galen tries to distract those creatures and keep them in the room, you are still stunned and outside of the room. So.
Fuck.
Still
7.
stunned. Okay, so you are drooling outside the room. Okay.
Just 8 more rounds. Just 8 more rounds.
And then one of you guys can slap me awake or something.
Yeah.
It only lasted a minute, so 8 more rounds and you'll find.
Rukvi, what do you want to do?
Quarian, you grab the panel, the control panel?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to I'm gonna use bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on our friend on Galen.
Okay.
So that you get 2 AC. And then I'm going to you get 2 AC for it's a concentration. And then I'll run up and grab the vial, the red vial on the table.
Okay. Cool.
And then I'll sprint back out of the room.
Okay. That's fine, but you do need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Come on. Can I? 26.
Amazing. You only take 10 points of poison damage.
Do I get? I have to say this. I probably take an attack of opportunity from the creatures, or
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you. So he will use his Finger of Death spell. No, I'm just.
oh shit!
I'm just kidding. No, it's, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just his claw. So he hits AC 19.
That's my AC, so it hits.
Okay, so that's 3 plus 3, that's 6 plus 4, that's 10 slashing damage. And at this point, it is their turn. They watch, they look at Quirion, who is basically holding that giant tooth. So one of them, now they'll simply go they'll simply try to claw you to death. So both of them kind of gang attack you with their weapons and claws, Quirion. So
Come on, what am I?
Oh,
Don't I
me?
look delicious? Come on.
they're not idiots. They you can see him
come on.
holding the
Delicious tender flesh over here.
buffed with many spells like auras of protection,
Yes,
gleaming.
Only one spell. My sanctuary is not a spell. That's just my
Tank. You need a taunt spell.
demeanor,
Yeah,
like, my psychopath aura
Yeah.
or
So-
monk aura, whatever it is.
Quirion, the first claw. I'm waiting.
Before. Okay, so it's a claws and a trident, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take the damage of the claw, but then on the trident, I'm going to use cutting words to try to
Okay.
intercept.
So the claw is a 24 to hit.
Obviously hits.
Obviously hits. So that's 7 plus 4. That's 11 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
The trident. Yeah.
Just a
use
minute.
your-
The trident. Reduce 10 from the attack.
10. Amazing. Okay. So that's only a 12 to hit. So I'm
Yep,
assuming-
missed.
Okay. The second guy goes with the claw. That's only a 14 to hit.
Missed.
Okay. The trident
And,
now.
you guys know if I can use cutting words twice, or is it like a reaction? It's probably a reaction,
It's
right?
a reaction, so
Reaction.
it's only once.
All right. So probably
So the trident is a 17 to hit.
it hits.
Hits. Okay.
Yep.
So here goes. Sorry. Okay. So no, I'm joking. So that's a.
So I'm going to need some more dice here. Let's like, can I borrow some dice here? I don't have enough.
Okay, so that's it's holding it with two hands and stick it into your body. So that's a 6 plus a 7, 13 plus 4. So that's 17 piercing damage, and I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
God damn it. That did not go well. I got like an 8, I think. Yeah, 8.
8 is the bitch. You take, that's a 3, that's a 6, 7, 8. Oh, come on. Another 8 points of poison damage. That could have gone a lot worse, but I'm rolling like shit.
Thank God.
Okay. So that was their turn, and they are shrieking and clucking with their teeth, and their multifaceted eyes kind of fix on you. And it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Probably to get away from there. Yeah, I'm going to dimension door back to where I was before. Right behind the stunned 4 guy. That's going to be my first action.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you teleport.
And
Wait,
I'm going to stash the
Wait.
things.
You do need to make a Constitution saving throw as you cast the spell, because of the gas there.
If he's within 10 feet of me, +3.
You went outside, didn't you?
Oh shit.
Yeah, he went into the room.
I love Morton.
I would do that as well, but I'm stunned, so I don't know if that buff works.
Okay, I got a 10.
A 10 is not good.
So what does that mean? That the spell fails?
No, it's just mean that you're taking a bunch of damage. Actually, 30 points of poison damage.
Whoa.
Ouch!
Holy shit.
Okay. I'm reaching Forgar with like with very, very low hit points. Extremely bloodied. Okay, but still alive.
Okay. They click and clack. But since you have... Okay, actually I won't say anything. Andres, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to use my action to summon the elemental.
Okay.
Cage. So it'll go on my initiative next round, and my command to it is to bring me that human, the one in the cage.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
And so that's my action, and for my free action or my bonus action, I'm going to turn to Slagus, and I'm going to be like, you failed utterly. Do something, or we kill you. You're a pathetic example of a mind flare.
He looks at Quarian
Oh,
and looks at you and says, "Looks like mission accomplished to me."
and don't make him do something again. He'll just do his stun again.
Yeah. Just AoE us.
I
stab
come out
thing
of
and
my
leave.
everything.
stun.
He's a one-trick
temporarily
pony.
It's a brutal trick, though.
Wait, so that was Andrist.
Yeah,
So yes,
exactly,
the
yeah.
creature kind of the earth elemental bursts out of the water and then starts walking into the room, obviously unaffected by poison. The creatures kind of look at him, then look at Quarian, but it's Galen turn.
Yeah, I
so-
actually wanted to summon it behind the creatures at the cage.
Oh, you probably can, right? But yeah, for flavor,
Yeah.
it's fun. Galen.
I will go over and stand at the door. Like, guys, now's the time. Get out of there. And then I'll stand at the door and try to block the door from these.
By the way,
Just that
Can
Galen
I say
totally
something?
doesn't know what it is. And I will dodge again as my action.
was I able to after I did this teleportation? Would I have been able to move to the door, to walk back to the door?
Yeah, you still have your movement. I mean, that was just a spell.
Then I'll do that. I'll walk like to the door. Staying at the door.
Yeah, that's fine. Forgar, will he make the save?
15.
15 is amazing.
Yes?
Not enough. Not enough.
I think. Wait.
I think it's 16
for the
actually.
DM or maybe
15.
for Forgar?
15 is the DC. Amazing.
Oh.
Remember they have a +3.
So you kind of you wipe the drool out of your chin.
The shock of you calling out the mind flare snapped me out of it.
Okay, so yeah, that's amazing. So you're not stunned, but this is the end of your turn right now. So
Yes.
but that's good. Rukvi, not stunned anymore.
All right. Who is in the room still?
Me and an earth elemental.
Okay. Earth Elemental's our friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, then I'm gonna take your cue and just get, you're trying to be like last man behind, so.
Hey, someone listened. Finally.
Yeah, I'll move to, I basically want to be like at the door behind you where you are, so like ready to run. Or you're faster than me, aren't you? I'll just fucking run.
Yes.
I'll run out.
I'm
Okay,
a lot
so-
faster than you.
So you run out of the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so first you need to make a Constitution saving throw because you are in the room when you
Like,
start to
No,
move.
didn't he already ran out of the room last?
I don't know.
round
I just
or-
asked him if he's running out of the room.
Oh, he did that last round.
He is out of the room.
Okay, so what are you doing,
I assume
Rukvi?
so.
Then I'll just grab everybody I can and just move them as much as I can away.
Away. Okay, so you're pushing everyone away. Of the
Yeah,
room.
maybe I move them like 10 feet or something. I don't know.
Okay. So I'll get back to you in a minute. That's fine. So the creatures, they look at Quarian, who is behind the door, and they look at the earth elemental who has materialized next to the cage, and he's now trying to pick up the cage. And for some reason, they decide to go for the earth elemental. So they simply hammer on its tough hide, trying to attack him, which is kind of weird, but this is what they do. So the first claw is not a lot. This is an 11 to hit. I'm assuming it doesn't hit him. The trident is a 18 to hit.
Sure. Is this considered a magical weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
He's immune to poison, right?
Yeah.
This is awesome. So this means it will only take 6 plus 5, that's 11 plus 4, that's 15 piercing damage from the first attack.
Okay.
The second attack is again another claw, which hits armor class 20 this time.
Yeah.
So that's a 4 plus 1 plus 4, so that's 9 points of slashing damage.
Is that considered a magical weapon?
Yeah. All of their attacks are magical. And this one is another trident, which is a 20
Armor class 17.
23 to hit.
Hit.
Okay. Math at 11 p.m. That's a 10 plus a 9. That's a 19 plus 4, so 23 points of slashing damage.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
Okay. At this point, it is Quarian's turn.
Okay. I look outside the room. Is there anybody outside?
Okay, so yeah, you kind of look back and you can see a man standing with the water kind of around him. They don't touch his feet. And he's wearing red boots, black pants, white shirt. He's holding a pie. You can see a hole in it. And he's chewing on his raspberry-covered finger and says, "Oh, I mentioned, or I haven't thought of that. The fucking creatures can't leave the room. Damn it."
I
What's this
speak into
guy?
the room. Anybody wants pie?
Pie.
So what do you do?
Just point at Selegas and be like,
He did it.
You did it.
He made us do it.
Yeah.
Do I see Slegas?
He's
question.
busy looking at the room currently.
Could you clarify the situation a bit? I'm in a room that is like the office. The rest are outside in a hallway, right?
Yep.
And the Red Lord is blocking the way back to the submarine, or from another direction?
No, from another direction. He came from the T intersection from the Dryad.
Okay. So the rest could still, if they wanted, try to run back to the submarine.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Do I remember the name of the dryad?
Emerenta.
Emerenta?
Yes.
I asked him if Emerenta likes a pie.
He kind of looks at it and said, "Well, obviously no."
I wonder why. Oh well. Nice meeting you.
Okay, good. So, do you want to do other than chit chat? Anything you want to do? Which is chit chat is fine. He basically says, "Yes, sure, nice meeting you too." Well, can this lump of rock get the hands off my contract?
maybe like hide the thing behind your back as you're speaking to him.
I already tried. I already hid this thing in my backpack on my way. But I have a feeling that he probably knows it's there. I'm trying to see if there's any way for me to talk to you guys.
Endorist, you're next.
Did we all hear what he just said, including me?
You're fighting, and the Rookvi is pushing you.
I'm not really fighting. I'm blocking the doorway, and they didn't attack me. So
Okay,
Yes.
you know what I'm gonna do? In order to make sure that everybody hears me, I'm going to cast minor illusion and use that in order to make a sound. That sound is going to be pie.
Okay,
Like-
so the word pie kind of echoes down the town. Pie, 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 pie.
I hope you guys get that.
Yeah,
I think I can put
obviously.
two and two
Strawberry?
together.
Apple? What kind of pie are we talking? I'm hungry.
And the rest, what do you want to do once the word pie kind of explodes all around you? Pie, 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 pie. Even your creature
I've
kind
already given direction to my Earth Elemental, so I want him to tear. He's operating on his own. I've given him his directions. He's going to tear the door off the cage.
Okay.
Can he do that with one of his attacks?
Yeah, just a strength check. As you do that, you can hear the Lord kind of tells you, "Can you get that lump of rock off of my contract?"
Yeah, I heard it, but I've already given him his direction, so I'm just going to ignore that. Strength 20.
Yep. It opens.
So one attack to do that, one attack to grab the human and like hold him to his chest.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then he's going to use his movement to come out of the room, which I assume will provoke attacks of opportunity, but he'll ignore those.
Yeah. Well, let's resolve them. That's an 18 to hit and a 16 to hit.
And
Both hit.
I
Oh,
will
sorry, the
allow-
18 hits,
I
16.
will allow the Earth Elemental to walk past me.
That's
And will
four,
not
four.
attack of opportunity on it.
So the 18
That's-
hits.
Okay, so that's actually a 16 slashing damage. Finally, I'm rolling.
Okay.
So
And
clink,
does
clink,
30
clink, clink.
feet get him out of the room?
Yes, they don't follow.
Okay, so he'll be in the hallway holding it protectively.
Yes.
So that's that thing. That's the Earth Elemental's action. While that's happening, I will turn and see the Red Lord. Do I recognize the Red Lord now that I can see his face?
No, all you can see is he's 40 years old, or a little bit grayish on the back of his head, a little bit baldish on this part. Well dressed, pleasant looking. His face are full of pie, and his fingers are dirty and sticky. And he's looking at you through blue eyes that seem really, really curious. And this is a great opportunity to end the session right here. And then.
No, I want the slice of that pie.
We're gonna become that.
No, the pie is a lie.
Yes. Thank you, Gladys.
That was the last 6 adventures I ran in here.
It's a pie made of Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does
What do you,
anyone
what do you-
remember
what
the
do you
name?
think the red is coming from?
Does anyone remember the name of the demon that has your soul?
He of many teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry?
He
of
Yeah.
many teeth?
teeth. Yeah. Even though it's a female drow thing when we saw her.
No, the female is what we saw. It's just just the appearance back then. Oh, by the way, no, I said that I'm grabbing another object. Can you tell me what was that other object?
Yeah. I have it right here. Just a minute. So roll a d100 for me. It's like a percentile die.
Sure. That is a 67. 67.
67.
Almost nice.
Okay. So you have picked up a tambourine made of draw skin, but it's twisted and with so many valves and slides that you have to have tentacles to play it.
Okay.
Cool.
Give it a few sessions and I'm sure Yopal can play it. Hang around the submarine a little longer and you'll be able to play it.
Yeah.
A
You
tambourine.
already got the eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe in the ship I'll be able to play it if we ever get back to the ship.
Illithits don't understand humans at all, but they do understand tambourines and rhythm.
And how is the mind flare reacting to all this? I know we ended the session, but how's the mind flare reacting to this pie-eating bastard?
No, we'll see his reaction next session. I mean, if I'll tell you now, you won't show up. So
There's like an ink stain where he used to be.
I refuse
Yeah.
to show
An ink stain.
Oh.
Okay, if I could give you a level for that, that was
Inspiration?
yeah. Go
yeah.
inspiration. Go like 2. Get 2. An ink
Come
stain.
on.
That's amazing. Guys, I'm going to sleep. Thank you very much. Have a great week, and
Yes, you too.
yeah, and let's talk. Let's see where this quarantine goes, etc. Maybe we can pull it off again next Sunday. Maybe. Worst case in 2 weeks, but let's talk.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Good night,
you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Yep.